Oh, hey, Meg.
Oh, hey.
We did it.
We
We're
sure
back.
did.
It's been like a whole week.
Oof.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
But thankfully, knock on wood, there's no allergies, there's no bee stings, things are on the uppity up. Except for we spent a lot of time doing some camping. I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling 22. Feeling about 62. Got some sunburn.
I feel great.
Do you?
I remembered my sunscreen.
Hmm.
Always
Fair enough. Fair enough. It was good.
relaxing.
It was very relaxing. Good view, good company. And yeah, I was super excited. Sat around.
Weather on and off. That's okay.
Can't control that. But either way, it beat having to work. It beat a lot of things, and it sure beats whatever went down in this story.
And I love a good board game.
Love a good board game. You know what else I love? A good pretzel.
Yeah. Pretzels are delicious.
We love our pretzels at MilwaukeePretzel.com. And did you see the dill pickle pretzel? The dill honey mustard?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're going to get that and maybe some. I'm thinking of either some sausage or slider pretzel buns with it. Yeah, and this week until July 4th, they're actually 25% out.
I do like that honey hot, though.
Ooh, we'll get that too. We're almost out.
Classic.
We've been eating it quite a bit.
On everything.
Everything. Fried bologna, it doesn't matter. You put it on there, it goes good with everything, just like a good Vermont flannel.
Cheese and crackers. Oh. Yeah.
They all work.
And the flannel. You
Yeah.
got to wear the flannel while you're having cheese and crackers on a rainy day.
It's a perfect pair. So check them out as well. VermontFlannel.com. Use code BeardLaws24 if you'd like. We rocked our Vermont flannels when it got down to 41 when we camped this weekend. Kept us warm. Kept us
80
comfy.
the next night.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, this weather. Unreal. But I don't know why this popped in my head. This is a story that pretty much everybody, I think, has heard of. And it's the Great Escape. Well, have you heard the actual story of the Great Escape from Alcatraz?
Somewhat.
Or Escape from Alcatraz. I mean, it's made movies and headlines and everything like that. And, you know, it's still to this day making headlines and everything like that. And I don't know, it popped in my brain and I was like, we should do something. Do we already have a bunch of stuff on the West Coast and particularly California? Yeah, we do. But when a story gets into my brain and we just start writing some stuff, that's what comes out. Eventually, we're going to hit all 50 states. But not this week.
It's close to the Wild West.
Waka waka wow. Wild West. Good movie, huh? I didn't see it. With Will Smith. Anyways.
Interesting.
All right, should we do the intro?
Do it.
Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. But either way, we'll be right back. We did it. And this is going to be The Great Escape, the escape from Alcatraz, a story that's pretty true about 3 Alcatraz inmates. And this, from what I understand, is still a cold case. People still don't really know what's going on. Hopefully that's not a spoiler, but I just wanted to talk about it. Like I said, it just kind of continues to make its way into there, and I figured we should just do something about it. So Alcatraz, obviously, it's been closed for decades, but it remains infamous. I mean, everybody knows Alcatraz, right? Known as The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, although they're both just as big. It was once considered inescapable. Of the 36 inmates who attempted to flee, all were either recaptured, shot, or lost at sea. However, this narrative did change. June 1962, when 3 men vanished into the San Francisco Bay. Their fate remained a mystery until something surfaced 51 years later. Meg, what was it?
A letter.
It was a letter prompting the FBI to kind of reopen this case. At least it wasn't a message in a bottle. It took forever to get there. So it was January 2013. The San Francisco Police Department received a startling letter. How did it begin, Meg?
My name is John Anglin.
What did he do?
I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962.
And he escaped with his brother Clarence and Frank Morris. And then he says, I'm 83 years old and I have cancer. This letter challenged the long-held belief that the escapees had drowned. For decades, like I said, they thought it was, they just drowned. It was cold. The water was wild in the bay. But the letter, it kind of suggested otherwise. It was initially kept a secret. Oh, shocker. The FBI, the police, and everybody's keeping a secret. Never heard of that before. The police eventually, though, they found enough reason to take the letter seriously. So then let's fast forward 5 years later. 5 years it took them to consider it serious. Yeah, 2018. They reopen the cold case. But yeah, wild, right? I mean, I guess if you got to do some research, you got to really dig into some things. It could take some time, but they've already waited 50-something years. What's 5 more? Alcatraz, for anybody that might not know, was designed to be escape-proof, and it only housed the most dangerous criminals. Yet, John and Clarence Anglin, Frank Lee Morris, and Alan West dared to dream of freedom. Over months, they meticulously planned their escape, exploiting Alcatraz's flaws and using tools they'd actually made themselves. Wild, right, to think about? Man. It's kind of like, I don't know, I always think Prison Break, that show. But this one, maybe they should have done a prison break in an island, not obviously Alcatraz, but an island like Alcatraz. And I wonder, too, I probably should have done the research with this coming to my brain. Is there other prisons that are on islands?
I don't know.
That's got to be a pain, though, knowing and having family members and friends that are correction officers. Imagine how much earlier you got to go to work to have to get onto a boat to get onto an island. I mean, you're always hearing, in our state that we live in, New York, there's lots of overtime. Sometimes you get stuck because it's a beautiful day and people don't want to go to work. Imagine if this person's like, nah, don't feel like going to Alcatraz today. I'm not getting on that boat. Then you're stuck. That's got it.
I wonder if they had housing there, though.
I don't.
For like you go to work for a month.
No, I would have to imagine.
Rotate out.
I'd have to imagine it be shifts because you don't want to be tired and too dragged out with the most dangerous people in the world.
Right, but I mean, you could have like housing there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Let's see here. I was just going to look here. So according to NPS.org, Alcatraz inmates were not the only people who lived on. Oh, okay. Prison staff members, including the warden and other top administrators and correction officers, medical providers, and clerks, resided with their families on the island.
See, I wasn't crazy for thinking that.
Wow. They lived in government-owned apartments, cottages, and houses. They had their own social club. They had their own bowling alley, soda fountains, and a small convenience store. The children of the staff members went to school in San Francisco every day by boat. As one longtime Alcatraz staff member observed, Alcatraz was like a small town with a big jail. They were
You would think they would do like homeschooling or something.
You would think so. So I guess it's the other way around. Kids, you're getting on the boat to go to school. We're going to stay right on this island with the most dangerous people in the world.
Go bowling.
And actually, officers at Alcatraz were considered among the elite in the Bureau of Prisons. They received extensive training in prison procedures and regulations, legal requirements, self-defense, conflict resolution, marksmanship, rehabilitation programs, investigation techniques, bureau policies, and the history of law enforcement. To ensure good management, there was a clear chain of command at Alcatraz with correctional officers under the close supervision of lieutenants and captains. The chief enforcement officer at Alcatraz was the warden, a high-ranking federal official who reported to the Bureau of Prisons director. Look at that. Oh, well done, Meg. Well done.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's talk about Frank Lee Morris. He was orphaned by the age of 11, had a criminal record that began at the age of 13. Known for his intelligence, like Meg, he managed to escape from the high-security Louisiana State Penitentiary, unlike Meg. And then he ended up in Alcatraz. Again, unlike Meg. There he joined forces with the Anglin brothers, probably saying it wrong, whom he met in another prison. Let's talk about the brothers. John and Clarence grew up helping their parents with seasonal farm work, becoming strong swimmers in the cold waters of Lake Michigan. As adults, they became adept bank robbers, targeting institutions after hours to avoid harming anyone. They were eventually caught and sent where, Meg?
Sorry, I was looking back at something.
They were sent to Alcatraz, where they reunited with Morris. So the inmates created dummy heads to fool the guards using soap wax, toilet paper, and hair from the barber shop. They chipped away their walls, or their cell walls, using improvised tools that we already talked about that they actually made in there, and exploited the prison's deteriorating. That one got me.
Deteriorating.
Wow. That got me good. Deteriorating. Nailed it. Their plan involved reaching through the roof through a utility corridor and inflating a raft made of raincoats. Yeah. So we talked about how trained these people, these inmates, or the correction officers were. They're living there. They made them out of soap heads, used hair from the barber shop. That's pretty smart. I don't know the whole routine over there. We should have brought in our my brother, the correction officer, and kind of polled him on some stuff, because I'm pretty sure if anybody within the couple of houses we live in that might know about Alcatraz, it's probably him. Probably not. Anyways, let's talk about the fateful night, Meg. What do you think?
Okay, let's do it.
June 11th, 1962. The lights go out. The escape begins. The England brothers and Morris successfully exited their cells, placed their soap heads and I don't know whose hair in there, and made it look like they were there snug as a bug in a rug. But West was stuck. Unable to free him without alerting the guards, they just leave him behind and proceed with their plan. So then the trio reaches the shore, inflates their raft, and vanishes into the night. I don't know if that's good or bad for West. Maybe this plan wouldn't have worked with their raincoat raft if West was there. Maybe it...
So there were originally 4 of them?
Yeah, the England brothers, Morris and West. But the 3 of them were, frankly, Morris and the England brothers were more well-known because of it, I guess. The next morning, guards, they discover they're not there. They escape. West eventually squeezed through his cell hole, but found himself too late to join the others. He provided authorities with details of the plan, claiming the men aimed to reach Angel Island. So he ratted them out?
Oh, boy.
Come on. Snitches get stitches.
He's probably mad.
Understand, but...
Left him.
Yeah, but a plan's a plan. You would have thought in the plan they would have been like, listen, if anybody happens to get stuck, we just got to kind of go. But I guarantee you, though, if it was one of the brothers, they're not leaving the other brother behind.
Probably not.
All right? So, despite extensive searches, the escapees' bodies were never found. Some of their belongings surfaced in the bay, but no conclusive evidence of their fate emerged. There was a 2015 documentary that new evidence suggested the England brothers might have survived, including a photograph allegedly showing them in Brazil in 1975. Family members, they started to report receiving Christmas cards from the England brothers and even produced a photograph. A deathbed confession from their sibling hinted at contact with them post-escape. However, the letter received in 2013 brought renewed interest and skepticism as its authenticity remains debated. Despite the letter's uncertain validity, the US Marshals do continue to investigate. They plan to pursue the case until the escapees are either confirmed dead or reach 99 years old. I wonder why 99. Maybe once they hit 100, it's like, you made it. Congrats, you're free. As new theories and evidence emerge, the true fate of the Alcatraz escapees remains one of America's most intriguing mysteries. I'm super intrigued by this. I don't know why. I just want to know. Did they make it? And I mean, you can get in, subreddits. You can get dark in the internet, reading all these stories, and once you start seeing some of these photographs and you start seeing some stuff, you're like, there's no way these guys didn't make it. But then you're thinking, it was cold. They're on a raincoat raft. There's no way in hell they made it. I don't know. You don't know. The FBI doesn't know, but the Marshals, they're going to continue to look at this. It'll be interesting, when or, how old they might be before we actually find out. Yep or nope. I wonder if it's going to kind of be like one of those UFO things where we all know the aliens existed, but the government didn't release it until it was kind of like, we already knew this, man. We got the internet. Wonder if at some point when they just release, they did escape. It's just, everybody's like, oh, okay, what was Alcatraz again? And we don't want Alcatraz to ever be, not thought of. It's a wild place.
So, but wasn't the one guy Wasn't he on his deathbed, pretty much?
When he
sent the letter.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they look into his fingerprints or his?
They probably didn't collect anything. I mean, what are they gonna? How are they gonna fingerprint?
They don't. You don't think they would have fingerprints on file for somebody that's been convicted and sent
the
to
letter
Alcatraz?
itself. The letter.
Well, they would, if they knew who the guy was, where the letter came from. Why couldn't they go check the fingerprints?
I have to imagine
something like that.
Yeah, I have to imagine. I mean, he was full of cancer, I think is what the article said. I have to imagine he probably tried to cover his steps a little bit. I mean, if he was smart enough to escape Alcatraz, probably smart enough to kind of cover where he is or what's going on. Maybe he didn't want him to know. I mean, anybody can drop a letter. He probably could wear gloves. Fine with me. I mean, there had to be enough, evidence found from this letter that they reopened the case. So and like I said, it didn't really say in any of the articles from 12 Up, Hoops Habit, Wikipedia, any of the places that we looked at that said what exactly they found, but they had to find something. Maybe it was fingerprints, like you said. They had to find something. And then it was the family of the brothers, when they were on their deathbed, admitted to receiving Christmas cards and stuff like that. And you have to, I mean, obviously you're not getting away with it these days with too much technology and stuff like that, but 60s, 70s, there's not really as much technology. I mean, they're taking photos and sending it and having them develop this and that. Pretty wild stuff. Want to hit them with a quote?
Sure. Alcatraz was never no good for nobody.
Yeah.
That was Frank Weatherman, the last prisoner to leave Alcatraz.
That's pretty wild. Imagine being the last one to leave. Then they're shutting it down. I mean, he's going somewhere else, but not nearly as wild. Getting off the rock. It is pretty wild that many people did try to escape. And it was just those 3. But it is, you do have to kind of wonder. They never found any of the bodies. They found other bodies. They find other things. Crazy. Let us know in the comments if you want. Do you think that they survived? Do you think that they didn't survive? And just while you're letting us know some things, let us know if there's anything that you want to talk about. Give us a town. Give us a story. Give us anything. We'll write it up and we'll talk about it potentially next week. But this was a good one.
What do you think?
I think they got away.
I think so too.
I don't know how they did, but it's pretty wild. Wonder if we could find raincoat raft escape. They had to find that, right?
You would think.
Or else how would they know it was a raincoat raft? The raft that Alcatraz prisoners escape. I don't know if this is a real picture, but and I don't know if you can see it or not. This is what this is what they say it looks like.
Interesting.
Very interesting. There is just a lot to this, and for anybody that is watching this, obviously you can see on the screen we are showing a couple of pictures from Google just of Alcatraz, and here's a little bit of here's the map. It's got the laundry mat to the left. It's got the main cell house, the lighthouse, ruins, residential apartments, a dock, a guardhouse, a water tower, and a storehouse. The boat comes in and out. And there's the letter. It's just, I don't know. This story just intrigues me so much. It's pretty cool. It is a what appears to be a small island with a big jail, I think is how they worded it. But yeah, it looks like they had some life jackets and some raincoats, and away they went. Oh, Mythbusters did an episode on Escape from Alcatraz. Did you know that?
I did not. Guess I know what we're watching later.
There we go. Did you know that the Golden Gate Bridge started construction in 1932?
No.
If you want to know more about 1932, you should listen to Triple T tomorrow on the Beard Laws studio. Yeah. John Z from the Dude Network, he randomly selected 1932, and 1932 it was. Kind of a boring year. The Great Depression was happening. FDR. But we found some good stuff. We actually went through and discussed a Great Depression menu of some foods that were eaten a lot in the Great Depression. So
that intrigues me.
Ironically, growing up poor, ate a lot of the same stuff.
I was going to say, I feel like I had a lot of that stuff too with my grandfather.
Mm-hmm. So.
And I think I still serve some of it.
Like, you ever had a sugar and bread sandwich?
I have, actually.
That's a Great Depression meal. Tomato sandwiches, ate a lot of those.
I still do.
Great Depression meal. Bean soup.
Crazy cake.
Other stuff. But yeah, so make sure you guys check that out tomorrow. Unless you're listening to this on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then it releases a day after Yorktown on the Beard Law Studio. So make sure you guys give that a listen if you want. Pretty cool. Done some cool years. Loved time traveling with the boys. So, Meg, this was fun.
Sure was.
I appreciate it. Let's get on with the rest of our busy day.
Let's do it.
Anybody still listening? Can't thank you enough. We'll see you next week with another cool story. Want to give them a spoiler of what it is?
Sure.
Cool. What is it going to be?
I don't know.
Oh, me neither. We haven't planned it yet. I thought you were going to come up with something on the spot.
No.
I was going to be super impressed. All right.
I don't have that in me today.
We're going to think this over. We'll be back next week.
Just kidding. No spoiler.
Let's escape from the studio.
Pranked you.
Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.